Coming up on Mountain News this morning, health leaders encourage people to get vaccinated ahead of holiday celebrations. And an Eastern Kentucky school prepares to host a vaccine clinic in order to help keep kids in our region healthy.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. It's just before 6 o'clock on this Thursday, December 2nd. I'm Dakota Makris, and I still can't believe it's December. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at that forecast. And Brandon, it's a mild start to the day for some of us. Now, I keep forgetting that there are more places than just Hazard when we talk about weather. So for me, it's warmish, right. But other places it's still in the 30s for some areas.
Exactly, so. But that's basically your sheltered valleys,
yeah.
Your very highest elevation in some locations, but not very many folks in the 30s. Even at the house this morning, I usually live in one of the coldest spots in the mountains, and it was in the 50s when I left the house this morning. I think it was actually in the upper 40s, but it's in the 50s. Now, let's take a look at Corbin to start your day along I-75. Not a whole lot of action there, but the clouds are still hanging tough there from the overnight hours. We're going to continue to watch those for a little while longer. 39 in Jonesville this morning, 43 now. Wise, they've actually dropped a couple of degrees there, 45 in Jacksboro, but everybody else is 50 or above at this point there. 56 Irvin, one of the warmer spots. A little bit breezy out there at times this morning. We're seeing breezes, or consistent breezes there out of the southwest from about 5 to 10 miles per hour, so keep that in mind. Some gusts could be even higher than that at times today. 51 our average high. 65 our forecast high, but no records today. 78 was the record set at Jackson back in 1982. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, Breathitt County is mourning the death of a long-serving magistrate. Now, Breathitt County Judge Executive Jeff Noble told us Roy Darrell Harold died Wednesday morning at Pikeville Medical Center from health complications. Harold was 63 years old. Now, he was in his third term serving District 2. Funeral arrangements have not yet been announced. Wednesday's COVID numbers show another big jump in cases. The state reported 3,300 new cases yesterday, along with 44 new deaths. We are approaching 11,000 total deaths. The positivity rate continues to tick up, now sitting at 8.5%. The number of people in the hospital and the number on a ventilator are both up, but the number of people in the ICU with COVID is down slightly. Now, you can always check out the latest COVID-19 information over on our website at WYMT.com. Now that the Omicron variant has emerged, doctors are once again talking about pandemic fatigue, the phrase used to describe feelings or anxiety or despair many may be experiencing as it drags on. With the new variant, many are wondering if that pandemic fatigue will worsen. Public Health Director Scott Lockard says even if we see physical isolation pick back up, it's important to not isolate socially.
We all have to be balanced about this. Yes, we should take precautions. We should get vaccinated. We should wear a mask when we're in crowds, but don't socially isolate yourself. Don't become so concerned about COVID that you're doing things that's detrimental to your mental health and your mental well-being.
Now, Lockard also adds that we should look at seeking help for our mental health the same way we do for our physical health. The first flu cases of the season are already being reported. This coming as the COVID-19 case count ticks up and the new variant raises more concerns over a potential twindemic. Now, health experts are celebrating the season of giving vaccines and immunity, not illness. But with the calendars booked full of holiday parties, some are concerned about contagious viruses spreading after flu cases plummeted last year.
At this time last year, there was a mask mandate in place. It protected themselves and it protected others, not only from COVID-19, but your other typical winter illnesses. It's safe to go to these events, but with cautions in place.
Now, Governor Andy Beshear says his administration is watching Omicron. Experts say holiday mingling can be safe if done with caution and encourage people to get vaccinated against both COVID and the flu. While Breathitt County Schools is hosting a COVID-19 vaccine clinic today, this is the second clinic the system has held. School and healthcare employees tell us how these clinics benefit students. Breathitt County Schools is hosting its second COVID-19 vaccine clinic on Thursday, making sure students who want a vaccine can get one.
The largest reason behind our sponsoring, in collaboration with Wild Health Incorporated, this vaccine clinic is to promote accessibility to the vaccine should folks want to take it.
saying their goal is to ensure students and staff are able to stay in the classroom.
We provided non-traditional instruction for a portion of last year, and as we come out of this pandemic, we see the impact that had, and we continue to see that.
The clinic is focusing on 5 to 11-year-old students, but is available to any student who is eligible. They are optimistic after good turnout at the first vaccine clinic they held in November.
Weeks ago, we had a vaccine clinic, and we vaccinated like 40, I think, children and adults that came to get a vaccine.
Saying a COVID vaccine for a child is a crucial part of keeping kids healthy during this pandemic.
Children who unfortunately become infected with COVID have a potential for short and long-term health complications, and they could go home and potentially affect like other siblings, especially like younger siblings who aren't allowed to get a vaccine right now.
Healthcare experts say the CDC is recommending everyone 5 years and older get fully vaccinated or to get a booster if eligible. In Bradford County, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News. Well, now that clinic will be held today from 3:30 to 7:30 p.m. in the lobby of Bradford County High School. Well, not too long ago, employees at 3M in Harrison County were protesting the vaccine mandate for federal contractors. Well, Tuesday, U.S. District Judge Gregory Van Tatenhove sided with the lawsuit by Attorney General Daniel Cameron to block the mandate. Although the judge blocked the federal vaccine mandate, he said the vaccines are effective. Now, the governor said the judge's rulings needs more clarity. In the past, the governor has said Kentucky will comply with all federal regulations regarding vaccines.
But if you are not vaccinated, there is a periodic testing you have to undergo. So in the end, we need to know what, as an employer, we're going to have to do or not do.
Now the judge's ruling affects Kentucky, Ohio, and Tennessee. A focus on pediatric care in our region is growing with the opening of the first children's hospital in eastern Kentucky. For so many families in this part of the region, the closest pediatric-focused hospital was in Lexington or Huntington, at least a 2-hour drive for some. Kimberly Kagi shares the first look into the new Pikeville Medical Center's Children's Hospital and what this means for the youngest patients.
It's a lot of space and a ton of cutting-edge technology. Inside Pikeville Medical Center, the new Children's Hospital is ready to open.
As both a father and a grandfather, and living and growing up in this region, knowing that the people of the area has had to travel for too long for the quality care.
The two closest children's hospitals were in Lexington or Huntington, adding up to more than a 2-hour drive for some. The Children's Hospital at PMC is the first to open in eastern Kentucky, helping to keep care close to home.
When people in the outlying community go to emergency rooms with their children, and those children need to be seen by a pediatric hospitalist, we are here 24/7 to answer the call, to bring those children to safety, and to give them the best care.
UK Children's Hospital and PMC will share pediatricians as the hospital works to expand its program. The pediatricians will travel to Pikeville on selected days of the month for the clinic. But the hospital side will be staffed 24/7.
Through the partnership, we're going to be able to offer those services that, again, people have had to drive for. So we'll set up, use our own Pikeville Medical Center scheduling system to set up their schedule. They'll be able to do their labs here. They'll be able to stay here. So they'll be able to do diagnostic testing here.
A safari trip with bright colors will serve as a distraction, helping calm nerves in the 10-bed patient system and clinic.
We are delivering a promise, to the people of this community to deliver the best care we can for their children in the most comprehensive facility that you're going to find anywhere in the state and maybe even anywhere in the country, right here in the mountains.
Ready to grow and provide quality care to some of the youngest patients.
That was Kimberly Kagi reporting. The first patients will be seen at the beginning of next week. Governor Andy Beshear and hospital leadership will cut the ribbon this afternoon at the facility. Appalachian Regional Healthcare has wrapped up its purchase of Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center in Johnson County. The announcement of the purchase was made back in September. Rocky Massey, who has served as community CEO for ARH hospitals in West Virginia, has been heavily involved in the acquisition team for the purchase of Paul B. Hall. Now he has stepped into the role as interim community CEO for Paintsville ARH Hospital. ARH President and CEO Holly Phillips said in a statement, quote, "As a member of the ARH system, the hospital will benefit from the collective stability and strength of our multi-hospital system. while continuing to provide the exceptional level of care for which it has consistently been recognized over the years, end quote. The new Rural Hospital Loan Program, which started in September, is already helping improve healthcare access in areas that need it the most. Governor Andy Beshear announced the Pineville Community Health Center would be getting a $1 million loan through the program. Now, it will be the first medical center to get funding. The Rural Hospital Loan Program will be making $20 million in low-interest loans available to health centers and hospitals around the state.
Approaching 6:09 here on this Thursday morning, also known as Friday Eve. We're taking a look at some temperatures that are very mild for this time of the year. Yes, it is the second day of December, and your eyes are not deceiving you. 30s in Jonesville, but 40s and 50s everywhere else this morning. So very, very mild as you step out the door. That trend's only going to continue today. Average high temperature for this year is 51. We're heading towards 65. A breezy start to the day. Winds could gust out of the southwest up to 25 miles per hour at times, but those clouds give way to sunshine. Headlines for today: we are going to see above average temperatures for the next few days and a mostly dry weekend, but a big time cold front is going to bring us rain chances Sunday night into Monday, and temperatures will crash next week. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you very much. Well, more news is on the way when we come back. A nonprofit health organization experiences a data breach exposing the personal information of thousands of its patients.
Why would